The average baby will go through over 3,000 diapers in a single year. At around $70 to $80 a month, the cost of these diapers will set a family back nearly $1,000 a year. And right now, this essential is getting more expensive for millions of Americans. In March, diaper manufacturer Kimberly-Clark announced that it would be raising prices on many of its products, including diapers. And then competitor Procter & Gamble announced it would be doing the same. For families with multiple children, these price hikes could add up to hundreds of dollars more per year.
These price increases are happening on household goods, on food, on gas. Not only is it an amount that adds up, it's an amount that comes in addition to everything else costing more.
So what's causing diaper prices to rise so dramatically? It has a lot to do with the prices you're seeing here and here.
Are more likely to choose Loves.
Pampers, the #1 pediatrician recommended brand.
We're Huggies. We got just what you need.
It may look like there are a lot of options to buy diapers, but in reality, there are less than what it may seem. Only 2 companies control about 80% of the US disposable diaper industry, Procter & Gamble and Kimberly-Clark, the same 2 companies that announced price hikes earlier this year.
It means these companies are less vulnerable to competition.
Sharon Turlip reports on consumer products for The Wall Street Journal.
If P&G makes a decision on pricing, that might drive the whole market, whether it's up or down. They don't have the concern as much of having higher prices and then having their customers go somewhere else.
Most disposable diapers are made with layers of blended materials to increase absorbency, including this fluffy part, which is made from wood pulp. Just a few months ago, lumber prices were through the roof, powered by low mortgage rates and demand for home improvement projects that drove a suburban building boom. This lifted the price of wood, including pulp, which in turn drove up costs for diaper manufacturing.
The costs of logging have escalated due to the inputs at that stage in the value chain, namely the labor and the logistics and the equipment associated with felling trees.
David Garfield is a consultant who has worked in the consumer products industry for almost 3 decades.
And those increases in costs do ripple through the production of pulp and paper.
But one of the biggest commodities driving the price of diapers is the same one that is running your car.
Oil prices soaring. An OPEC-fueled rally sending crude prices higher, now up about 20% just over the last month.
As prices have risen at the pump, so have costs to produce diapers.
Some of those ingredients or materials that are incorporated into diapers are derived from petroleum. And so with the increase in the price of the barrel of oil comes an increase in the material that goes into making diapers. There's also the knock-on effect of diesel fuel prices up, which impact the transportation costs as well as the material costs.
Petroleum or crude oil is the same raw material used to make sodium polyacrylate. This is a polymer that's used in diapers to help make them more absorbent. It's what these absorption beads are made out of. Back in February, a winter storm pummeled Texas, forcing many petrochemical manufacturing plants to shut down, including those that make acrylic acid, a compound in sodium polyacrylate. The extreme weather caused acrylic acid shortages for months, which drove up the price of sodium polyacrylate. This contributed to the rising costs of diapers.
Part of it was this piling on effect. It was just one more thing on top of everything else. But it made this material harder to come by. And so, at the time when I spoke to Kimberly-Clark, they said, it's not driving a shortage, but it's certainly limiting options.
But it wasn't just limited access to raw materials that have driven up diaper prices. Throughout the pandemic, ongoing shipping issues due to surging online orders, COVID restrictions, and driver shortages have caused significant delays across the US. This has impacted deliveries across industries, including diapers, which has caused freight costs to balloon.
You have the trucking rates, the labor for drivers, the equipment that needs to be maintained and replaced, even the insurance costs. So producers are seeing significant increases recently in overall transportation costs.
Diapers, unlike some other smaller personal care items, are impacted more by shipping costs due to the product's bulky size.
The vast majority of diaper production in the U.S. is local. There's a very, very small percentage that is imported. It's a highly, what they call volumetric product, meaning that per dollar of sales, it's expensive to ship. And so It's largely trucking transportation within the U.S. from the factories to distribution centers and ultimately through retail channel partners.
Still, there's one other factor affecting the price of diapers that has been trending for years. In the US, births have been steadily dropping for the past decade. The number of babies born in 2020 dropped by 4% compared with the previous year, partially driven by a trend of women choosing to have fewer children later in life.
As the birth rate declines, it has an instant effect on diaper sales because babies need diapers the minute they're born. So, if there's fewer babies born, it's not like some products where 10 years down the road, a smaller population might trickle down. It's, if fewer babies are born in 2020, diaper sales go down in 2020.
To make up for lower diaper sales, companies have increased prices to partially fill the gap.
To offset this declining birth rate, the companies are trying to basically sell more expensive diapers that are nicer diapers. So that competition has become more intense. I mean, there's more organic diapers. There's a lot of features in diapers now that didn't exist 10 years ago.
As diaper prices have increased, for many working families, the financial strain has added to a list of growing expenses.
The need in 2021 seems to be almost as high or higher as it was in 2020. So even as the economy is recovering, it's not going back to 2019 levels.
Experts like David Garfield say that even if commodity and shipping costs come back down because of increased margins, diaper price increases will likely stay inflated for the near future.